Hey guys, this is Simon here with Caddis Fly Shop and Oregon Fly Fishing Blog. Today I'll be tying for you a hopper, or like a little terrestrial, using Rainy's Gorilla Bug bodies. For Halloween we'll call it the Beetlejuice. And it's pretty easy to tie. It floats high, it has a hackle that you can clip if you need it to sit lower. The pre-cut foam pieces make it really easy and quick to tie, so if you've got to crank a bunch out the night before you go somewhere, it's pretty easy to do. So we'll get right to it. So looking at this fly, it uses these Gorilla Bug bodies from Rainy's. They make different ones. These are the 3-segment ones that have 3 little segments of body. Super easy to put on. It just has a vertical hackle and a little wing of widow's web. So it's pretty easy to tie. Like I said earlier, it's really quick, so we'll get moving. It's also tied on one of the Ahrex hooks that I really like. So the hook that this uses is the FW530 from Ahrex, the Sedge Dry Barbless. And the thread that I'm using is Semperfli Nano Silk. 50 denier in black, and I like this thread a lot because you can do a lot with it and it's pretty strong, and it does not build a very big body, so you can reduce bulk and kind of keep the strength still. It's so strong that sometimes it's actually kind of difficult to cut, so it works great. And so we'll start by just laying a base of thread down right here, just to about the hook bend, and then basically all you have to do is tie on this body. But to stop it from spinning, I put a little bit of glue. So whether you have Loctite or this is Zap-A-Gap, you're just going to want to put just a little bit of glue down just to kind of hold it in place. This just helps with the longevity of the fly, and it does make it a little bit easier tying, so that it's kind of sitting where you want it to the whole time. So you start off with the back notch and then kind of exit like this to get it sitting where you want. I like to have a little bit of space in the front and kind of have it coming off that back, right back there. So then what I do is, now that the glue is setting, I'm just cranking down this whole middle section. This will give me space to put the wing in, the legs in, the hackle, all that stuff. So basically I'm just kind of cranking this down right now, and this will be all the space that I'm working with. So just like that. Okay, so then what's next is for the hackle, what I like to use is a whiting saddle. Something like this. Any black hackle will work. I like a saddle because I can pick the size, and all the feathers are very similar size. So what you first have to do is tie in a saddle feather, and if I size the one that I used, I like it to be about like a size 12, and this hook's a size 12, so try to match that up. So I like to pluck some of these fibers off the back and leave a little bare section, and then tie that in on my side and just leave it sitting off the back. Next thing we have to do is put in some of the wing and the crystal flash. So the wing is widow's web and smoke, a small section of that, and the flash that I use is pink crystal flash. So there's just a little bit of flash in the wing, and so to do that, I'm just going to take, I don't know, maybe 5 fibers or so, 6 of this crystal flash, and just pinch it, and then I'll just tie these in. I don't really care how long they are right now, because I'm just going to clip the ends of them off anyways. We'll clip them shorter, but just to get them out of my way, we'll clip them a little bit now. And then for the wing, I like to take a small section, about this big. Again, I will clip the excess, but basically I kind of get it cinched down there, and then to get rid of this extra bit, I pull. So if I start it here, and then take a couple of wraps, and then kind of wiggle it back, I can avoid a lot of that bulk right there. Just like that. And then we'll kind of wrap that down. And so now the wing is done. If this is in your way, you can kind of clip it. I like to clip it a little bit past the butt, like that. I might adjust it a little bit more later. Okay, so then for the leg, what I like to use is this barred sexy floss from MFC in gray. Kind of looks like pinkish or purple, or maybe it's just my eyes, but I think it goes well with the fly. So this is size small, so I take a clipping of this, and you can see it arcs out one way. It's going out this way. I like to keep that on the outside of the body. So I'll start in the back here, and I will tie one end down like that, and then keeping it still flaring out, I will wrap it up to the front, and then wrap it around the front of the fly here, while trying not to turn it. There we go, and then it'll still be flaring out for you, the legs will. So there should be a little loop around the head, and then when you cut it, the legs will be kind of just flaring out just how you want them. And then you can always adjust. The back leg is a little bit long, so I'm clipping it, but now we have that. And so then the last thing that we really need for this is this microfine dub in purple, and then I mix it with peacock for a little bit of flash, so you end up with something looking like this. And then I'm just laying down just a little bit of dubbing to rebuild the body back up that we squished down, and it'll give something for that hackle to grab into. And so I'm just making like kind of thin noodles and building up this center body section right here. And if the legs, if you want them to stick out more to the sides, you can put a little bit of dubbing in front of them, in between the head and these legs. That'll kind of flare them out back a little bit like that. So now we have that. Now we're pretty much done. We're just going to wrap this hackle like this. You can wrap it as tight as you want or as loose. The tighter you wrap it, the higher it'll float, but you won't be able to see quite as much of the dubbing. So depending on your needs, you can wrap it at a different height or a different density. The other thing is, how much of your feather do you want to use? If you want to just lightly hackle it to save your feathers, you certainly don't have to wrap it super tight. And so now that that's clipped off, we're just going to add a little bit of dubbing by the head and whip finish, and we'll be done. It's super quick and easy to tie. The gorilla bodies from Rainey's make it pretty quick. So it's nice if you don't have a lot of time, or you just want something easy to tie that you can crank out a lot of. This would work great, late summer when the trout are keying in on a lot of different, smaller terrestrial insects. It's a great fly to use then. It's also buoyant enough to put a small dropper below it. At least locally here, fishing a dry dropper is really effective in the summer. And it's a little bit more entertaining than looking at a indicator all day. So works great. As always, I like to secure my thread wraps with just a dot of Solarized bone dry. This is clear. They also make black. Depending on your needs, I'm just using clear, and I will cure it. This will ensure that my fly does not come apart. And that's it. You got the Beetlejuice hopper. I'll trim this wing just a little bit, and that's it. If you give it a go, let us know how it works. You can get all of this stuff at caddisflyshop.com, and if you fish it, let us know how it works. Thanks.